Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It is October 30th, the day before Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween Eve?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
That works, I think.
I've already been eating candy like for days and days.
I bought a couple bags in case I get a stray trick-or-treater at my apartment. Those bags are gone. Don't come to my apartment. You're not getting any candy.
That happens. Lisa, Scott, Dillon here on your Monday morning. It happens to the best of us. I want to remind you, of course, we're live every weekday morning on Facebook. It stays on your feed, so you can watch it live. You can watch it anytime later in the day. We also make it into a podcast. You can find that at inform.com/podcast. Look for the Inform Minute. We have an Inform YouTube channel you can find some great stuff on. And, of course, we just love it if you watch us live on WDAY First News, 5 to 7 a.m. every weekday morning.
Yeah.
All right, this morning, Dillon, you were live outside. Did I hear you later say your body's maybe not acclimated quite
It's not.
yet?
I mean, yeah, nobody's is. I mean,
No.
you step
Happens
outside.
quick.
And it's 25 degrees out or whatever it is at your location. And you're like, man, this is cold. But in 2 months from now, I'd be like, this is warm.
Right.
So,
you didn't look cold, so you
no,
were bundled up and you're playing on the playground?
Yeah, of course. You got to. That pole is cold. But if you don't context here, there's like a fireman's pole at the playground. And I went down it because why not?
Why not?
Why not? Nobody was telling me not to.
It was 6 in the morning.
It was 6 in the morning.
You didn't have to wait in line.
And while I was going down, I practiced that like 5 times beforehand with the microphone in my hand. And the actual time that it counted, the microphone hit me in the face.
Oh.
But that's okay.
Dangerous.
Apparently nobody noticed. So that's good.
It was dark. I didn't see
It was
it.
dark. I did not.
It was
You didn't
probably
make any, like, sound that made it sound like
No,
hurt.
I was like, gotta keep it moving.
All right. So it was cold this
professional.
morning.
Yep.
You were talking about why it's so cold. And
Yep.
actually, I didn't realize, because I think you had it on yesterday, someone has in our area been below zero.
Yeah.
Below
yeah.
zero.
Way up in Cavalier County, so way up to the north. But yeah, they were 1 below. Wales, just west of
Wow.
Wales, which is way, way up near Walhalla and Dunn Station. So they dropped to 1 below. So that is
Gross.
first one of the year. It's first
it
of
is.
many.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
that's
Yeah.
that'll be a common sight come in a couple of months. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise today, warming up into about the freezing mark, depending on where you are. Where there's snow, probably not as much.
Okay.
And that snow we had, we picked up last week, even in Fargo, it really hasn't melted, which has kind of been surprising. So we'll see if we get rid of it today, but we're going to see more snow though. So we'll see if we actually do. And the ground has really dropped temperatures significantly over the past few days. Obviously, there's snow on the ground, temperatures have been cold, so pretty quick cool down. Most spots that see snow today will have an inch or less.
Okay.
And it's just going to kind of be an annoyance more than anything.
Okay.
Tomorrow it's going to be chilly, a west wind turning south, but highs in the upper 20s to low 30s. One of the coldest Halloweens on record. So
Really?
more on that tomorrow. We'll talk
Okay.
all about that tomorrow on First
Scary
News.
forecast tomorrow.
Yeah. Literally.
Spooky, cool, cold,
Yeah, you're gonna have to
miserable.
layer up for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be too cold. So
Okay. Well,
that's a forecast. That's tomorrow. All about stuff on First News. Also, we have snow on the ground. When's the last time we had snow on the ground for Halloween?
I don't know.
I mean, everyone's going to go to the blizzard. Of course, the
I'm guessing
infamous
you're gonna
blizzard.
tell us tomorrow.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
We have to tune in to First News though tomorrow. So
Yeah.
there you go. There's your reason to get up tomorrow from 5 to 7 and watch us.
Will you be in costume?
I don't know. I've been thinking, but I don't know what I can do.
I hope so.
You hope
Yeah,
so?
hope you-
What am I
yeah.
gonna be?
Maybe
Scott?
you
I'm
could
gonna be Scott
You
Engen.
could be Kirk Cousins and tape your Achilles. Oh, too soon?
It's not a bad idea.
Wow.
Oh,
That is a low blow to this Vikings fan.
He leaves on that.
I'm
Just out.
I'm gonna be the Broncos and lose what? 8 years in a row.
But
to
you
the
can't
Chiefs?
on a winning morning.
I got the tie on today. Celebrate the victory.
Yeah. That's a big. Is that the #1 big story really in your
the
life?
Broncos.
The
It really
Broncos
is.
won.
They won.
Yeah,
beat
mine
the-
is the
they beat
Vikings
the
season
Chiefs.
is over.
Hey, maybe you'll get Carson Wentz on the Vikings.
That's not.
He's waiting for a phone call. He can leave his.
I'm cool
deer
with our
hunting.
rookie. I will just leave it at that. I'm cool with our rookie, Jaron Hall. Hopefully he brings us to the promised land.
Okay.
All right. We'll see how that goes. Okay.
We have
All
some
right.
news to talk about.
Yeah,
Besides
okay,
that,
let's
so
jump into-
we'll get to that.
We'll jump into a story we broke on First News for you this morning. A fire in Grandin, North Dakota overnight. It actually broke out at the sunflower plant there right around 11:30. We did get a hold of Cass County deputies. Grandin's kind of Trail County, Cass County. Trail County Sheriff's Department is taking over the investigation into the fire. But we did talk to Cass County. They helped. They assisted shutting down about a half mile of County Road 11 near the plant as volunteer firefighters were responding, trying to put out that fire. They told us that they believe the fire started in a dryer unit at CHS Sunflower Plant. So we'll continue tracking that story for you today. We'll get new details, hopefully find out how it started and how much damage was done.
Yeah. All right, big story from over the weekend that everyone's talking about. This morning, Grand Forks police police are still searching for that man who pulled out a weapon at a frat house at UND's campus. They're still looking for him. There's a picture online of what he looks like at the time. He was wearing a red or purple sweatshirt, black pants, a camo vest. So if you don't know what happened, campus police say it all happened Saturday night. The man brought a gun to the ATO house, ended up pointing it at several people. Officers called to the scene. They ended up finding that suspect a little bit later, but that person ran away, got away from police. Later, police did some searching. They found an airsoft pistol nearby under a dumpster. That's the weapon they believe that the man used at the fraternity house. Of course, if you don't know what an airsoft pistol is, it's just shoots pellets essentially, not a real gun, but still a scary incident nonetheless. They believe that he's somewhere in town, but they don't really know, and they don't know if he's connected to campus. But if you have any information on who this could have been, you are asked to call the campus police.
Today, Governor Tim Walz is signing an executive order that would allow more job opportunities for people wanting to work for the state of Minnesota. It would actually eliminate the college degree requirements for over 75% of the state's government jobs. The governor says it'll create more job opportunities, expand the state's workforce, and make it easier for people in Minnesota to choose state service.
And meantime, right now, time is ticking for Minnesotans who want to submit their ideas for the state's new flag. If you haven't done so yet, today is your last day to get that done. You can submit your design online at mnhs.org. All entries must follow some pretty simple guidelines. You can read those on the website as well. More than 800 designs have already been turned in, so exciting to see what ends up being the winner.
All right, garbage fees could go up in West Fargo. This is kind of a proposal coming after the city just got its online survey on garbage and recycling services. It was presented to the West Fargo City Commission. So right now the proposal is on the table to increase those fees. The Public Works Director says he'll likely propose a $3.50 increase in garbage pickup fees starting next year. Rates actually haven't gone up since 2019. But the city says its costs have gone up considerably, and one of those costs, it costs more for West Fargo to dump at the Fargo landfill. That amount has gone up quite a bit, and I think it will be going up next year. It could go up several years in a row after that. Another thing that I thought was very interesting, I live in West Fargo, and typically you can put stuff next to your garbage bin and they still pick it up. They take it. It's not been a thing. It sounds like they might start charging for that, so that would be a big change. However, according to the survey, the majority of survey respondents said they would be willing to pay a fee for bulky item pickups. So as long as they still take them, I guess people are willing to pay a little bit. So we'll continue tracking that. Still a ways off, but that's kind of what's being proposed right now.
All right, this morning you could see some fire hydrant inspections going on in your neighborhood. If you live in Moorhead, the city is doing their annual fire hydrant inspection in Flushing. It starts today, goes through Friday. Crews are going to be out from about 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon the next several weeks doing this. They do it to make sure each hydrant, of course, is working and running properly. The city says they're inspecting more than 1,700 fire hydrants throughout the city during the process. Now, important note for you while this is going on, you could notice lower water pressure or water discoloration. So if that is something you see, don't be alarmed about that.
And I was talking about this a little bit. It's cold outside.
Yeah,
so
it is.
There could be some areas when they're flushing the hydrants that, you can't avoid it if you're driving through that area, but it's probably going to be icy.
Yes,
so just be aware of that. It's the time of the year, I guess. Today, MSU Moorhead will start renovating one of the university's oldest buildings. A groundbreaking ceremony will be held at Weld Hall this afternoon. Now, we've talked about this renovation for a long time, years in the making. The design plan for this renovation set in 2018, but it wasn't until this year's bonding bill that they finally had the funding for the more than $23 million project. Big changes, but one of the biggest that you'll notice, the auditorium will be renovated into a multi-purpose space for use for a teaching lab, lecture hall, a venue for campus film and music performances, that's a big one, and also a space for community events and workforce training. So not supposed to be complete until 2026, so expensive and lengthy project.
But cool that they're getting that renovated. So, all right, big national headline this weekend, sad story, but new this morning, we are learning there are still a lot of unanswered questions about the cause of death for actor Matthew Perry. Died at his home this weekend, of course, one of the big stars of hit show Friends. His sudden passing will require additional investigative steps by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office before they reach an official conclusion. Medical Examiner has updated its online record for Perry, listing his cause of death as deferred, so they're still working on that, of course. An autopsy has been conducted, but examiners are awaiting results of toxicology reports in order to determine Perry's official cause of death. That could take weeks to complete. Investigators are planning to use those toxicology reports to determine whether or not any foreign substances may have contributed to Perry's death. Of course, since he died, nonstop coverage of that on all the national TV shows and news programs. Of course, memories of him pouring out online, celebrations of his life. We expect to hear from his friends' co-stars very soon. They're apparently going to release a joint statement when they're ready.
We were both watching GMA a little bit this morning. They have team coverage, and I know at one point there was a live look at the building where it was, and some memorials are popping up in different areas. And you're right, just a outpouring.
And kind of especially sad considering he did all that whole special with ABC.
It was just
not
1
that
year
long
ago.
and
Memoir
then
came out.
Memoir, so tough stuff there.
Hot Mic with Dom Izzo coming up this morning. We already talked about sports a little bit, but Dom might have a few things to say too.
Oh, yeah.
9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and Inform.com. Of course, like we mentioned, the Vikings did win at Lambeau Field, but they have lost their quarterback, it appears. What's next for Minnesota after Kirk Cousins' season-ending injury?
Yeah.
The MRI is going to happen today, so we'll probably hear more about
Most
it.
likely
but
confirming a torn Achilles, and it's not official yet, so you can still hold out hope if you're a Vikings fan, but they're looking for different options right now.
A big week as well for Bison football. Dakota Marker Week is here. NDSU is preparing for the matchup with the top-ranked and undefeated South Dakota State. Jeff Kolpak is going to be on the show, and he's going to talk about why the Bison will be a considerable underdog in this game. Everyone wants the underdog to win, right?
Not me. I'll be back in Brookings for the Dakota Marker game, so should be a good one. It's always fun when those.
It's always fun, right? Hot Mic with Dom is on from 9 to 11. Also, I'm sure he's going to be talking about the Broncos win. I mean,
Yeah, they
there's
won.
not maybe a
This is
lot
the
of
first
Broncos
time,
fans here.
in case
but
you didn't know, first time since 2015 the Broncos beat the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes had never lost to them, so it's just like a foregone conclusion they'd lose all these games. But they won yesterday, so
it was
I'm
like
a little
I was
extra
watching
excited.
and they were like, yeah. What was Lydia's stat? Like she has, what was it, 10 albums?
Since the last time.
10 Taylor Swift albums.
10 Taylor Swift albums have been
Part of the
created.
big storyline, Taylor Swift not at the Broncos-Chiefs game, so I guess the lore lives on that they're better when she's in the building.
She's his good luck charm. I
It's
mean,
true.
she did put
So
him on
far.
the map. Just
Wow.
kidding. I know, that's
He-
not
he
true.
elevated him a lot.
She did.
So,
All right.
Oh, man.
Hot Mic with Dom Izzo coming up 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra. Remember, right now is a great time to get your Inform.com subscription as well. 99 cents a month for your first 3 months. Just go to Inform.com/subscribe to check that out.
And then remember, join us throughout the rest of the day. Our next newscast is at 11 o'clock this morning, then 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. We'll be back tomorrow morning with first news from 5 to 7 in the morning.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.